morning everyone. Today we're going to do a little recap on the practice of Hajj. Just be aware that this comes up under the 5 pillars of Islam in paper 1, but it also comes up in more detail in the second unit of paper 2. For Muslims, actions speak louder than words. It's not enough to just have faith in Allah. They believe it's necessary to show religious commitment through their actions and their lifestyle. Every action in Islam is a form of worship because their life should be lived in submission to Allah. This idea is referred to as ibadah. Muslims have always been very clear that Islam is a complete way of life and that in everything they do, they should show submission and worship. For them, worship is a 24/7 reality to be lived fully, not just as an afterthought that's practiced once a week. Therefore, the 5 pillars of Islam become really important as a way of showing commitment to Allah through their lives. In that sermon he says, "O people, listen to me in earnest. Worship God, perform your 5 daily prayers, fast during the month of Ramadan and offer zakat. Perform Hajj if you have the means." The fact that these are mentioned in the final sermon could demonstrate how important they are. Muhammad wanted to leave his followers with the thing that was most important and most fundamental to their faith. The 5th and final pillar of Islam is that of Hajj, or the pilgrimage to Mecca. All Muslims are expected to go on Hajj at least once in their lifetime. However, if that's not possible, then it's their niyyah or intention that counts, and Allah will still reward them for this. There are, however, certain rules that need to be followed. They have to be of sound mind in order to understand the importance of Hajj. They have to be physically fit to be able to cope with the strain of the 5-day journey, and they have to be able to pay for Hajj without getting money from haram or forbidden means. As Prophet Muhammad said, Hajj should only be practiced if you have the means. The Quran makes it clear that Muslims should perform Hajj. It says, "And proclaim that the people shall observe Hajj pilgrimage. They will come to you walking or riding on various exhausted means of transportation. They will come from the farthest locations." Now, Hajj not only helps Muslims develop their personal relationship with Allah, but it also helps strengthen the Ummah or Muslim community. This unity between Muslims is expressed through the clothing that they wear. Muslims enter into a state of mind and preparation known as ihram. However, the term ihram is also used for the white cloth worn by Muslims during this time. The simple clothing shows the equality between all members of the community, and that in that community there's no difference between wealth and status. Before Allah, they are all equal. The symbolism of Hajj goes back to stories regarding numerous prophets, including Adam and his wife Eve or Hawa. After the fall, Adam and Eve were banished from paradise. However, they asked Allah for forgiveness, which Allah, being forgiving, gave them. During Hajj, Muslims visit the Mount of Mercy in Arafat, where they too face Allah and ask for forgiveness. Muslims seem to imply that this asking for forgiveness in Arafat was one of the most important parts of Hajj, saying, "Hajj is Arafat."
Safraz is on his way to the Mount of Mercy, one of Islam's holiest sites.
We're going to the foot of this mountain. It's the Mount of Mercy. This is the place on the top there, where that pillar is. That's the place where Adam was stood when he found Eve. That's where his forgiveness was accepted. And when the Holy Prophet came to do Hajj, he stood at the bottom here and he prayed.
As a way of offering thanks to Allah, Adam and Eve are said to have built a shrine, the first ever building, in order to worship Allah. This shrine is known today as the Kaaba, sometimes known as the House of Allah. It's a plain cube-shaped building. In the Quran it says, "Allah has made the Kaaba a sacred house, an asylum of security and benefits for mankind." During Hajj, Muslims practice tawaf, where they walk around the Kaaba 7 times to show that their life revolves around Allah. So is Hajj the best way to strengthen the Ummah or Muslim community? Many Muslims might argue that Hajj is the best way to build a sense of the Ummah or Muslim community, as it helps them remember their shared history. For example, key features of Hajj like the Kaaba and the Mount of Mercy relate to stories regarding early prophets like Adam and Ibrahim. As such, by following the examples of these individuals, Muslims have an opportunity to share and celebrate their heritage and develop their sense of community. In addition, Hajj provides a specific time and space for Muslims across the world to come together and worship together. In the Quran it says, "And proclaim that the people shall observe Hajj pilgrimage. They will come to you walking and riding on various exhausted means of transportation. They will come from the farthest locations." As such, despite Muslims being spread across the world, during Hajj they all come together and reflect their shared identity as Muslims. Finally then, many Muslims might agree and argue that Hajj is the best way to strengthen the Muslim community, as it reminds them that every Muslim is equal. As Prophet Muhammad said, all people are equal like teeth on a comb. During Hajj, Muslims wear white as a physical reminder of that equality. Whilst in their everyday life some might be more wealthy than others or have different jobs, during Hajj they're reminded that they are all the same and they all belong to one community under Allah. On the other hand though, many Muslims might argue that wearing religious clothing is the best way to strengthen the Muslim community. A defining feature of the Muslim faith is modesty. As such, religious clothing plays a vital role in Muslims being able to show their faith. Prophet Muhammad in the Hadith said every religion has a special character. The characteristic of Islam is modesty. Therefore, by wearing religious clothes such as the hijab or burqa, they can all celebrate their religious identity together. Some Muslims may argue that charity is the best way to strengthen the Muslim community, as it ensures everyone feels valued. Prophet Muhammad said he is not Muslim who goes to bed with a full stomach while his neighbour goes hungry. Elsewhere he said, whoever amongst you sees an evil, he must change it with his hand, and if he is not able to do so, then with his tongue. As such, charity is more beneficial, as this has a positive impact on society and the Muslim community, offering more tangible results than the rituals associated with Hajj. Finally then, some Muslims might argue that worship in the mosque is the best place to build a sense of community. The mosque, meaning place of prostration, is a venue specifically set aside for Muslims to worship together as an expression of their identity. In the Quran it says, the mosques of Allah shall be maintained only by those who believe in Allah and the last day. This implies that the mosque is specifically set aside for Muslims to be together. As it's used during Friday's congregational prayers and festivals, it becomes the heart of the community. Hope you found that useful. If you want to test yourself, get on Quizlet or Kahoot. If not, have a go at the practice exam questions. Good luck.